Welcome to the Avenue's special monthly broadcast of August Haven Live. I'm Steve March-Tormé. This is our monthly show dedicated to taking a deeper dive into an independent artist and their music. August Haven's mission for this programming is to support artists in our community and to create an atmosphere where the community can gather to enjoy friends, music, and all the finer things in life is curated by August Haven. Today, this programming is broadcast only, but we look forward to a time in the next couple of months when we'll be together again at August Haven in person for this monthly show. Keep it tuned right here. We'll be with you till 7 p.m. with lots of music and interviews. It's all made possible by August Haven. This month, I'm joined by Kessenich and Peter Edens. Chris is an Appleton native and frontman for the Nashville-based band Arts Fishing Club. Welcome to the Avenue, Chris.
It's great to be here. Home sweet home.
Well, it's great to see you again. It's obviously been a while. We haven't been with you since the 2019 Mile of Music Festival. So just a couple of things have happened since then. As a band that typically spends a lot of time on the road, the last year must have been very different from what you're used to. So tell us, how have you been?
Yeah, it's been quite the year for everyone. I actually got to spend like 3 months in Appleton, which was really, really awesome. Right in the beginning of quarantine, just a reset, I guess. And we were out on the road a lot for both Arts Fishing Club, and Pete plays with some other artists as well. And it was crazy just how needed the break was.
Yeah, just like physically, like on the body, there's a little spot in my back that would always hurt, and now COVID has allowed it to finally heal.
Right. So we're getting older, and I guess we're learning that, it's nice to not always be on the road.
That's right. We're not young boys anymore.
What has the pandemic allowed you to do that you haven't done or haven't been able to do before?
Yeah, just so being off the road not only was good for the body, but it gave us some time to focus in on recording a new EP that we just released a few weeks ago.
Yeah, very recently. It was an interesting process doing the recording during a pandemic because, with this kind of music, obviously you want everybody in the room musician-wise, so that's 5 of us, and, that seemed like a lot when we were doing it, last summer at the height of all this, COVID, but we managed to do it, just masked up and had a studio space that we went to with the producer Ken Coomer over at his place over in East Nashville, and yeah, it actually was a incredible break from the pandemic briefly. It was definitely not the same as being back in the studio because we wouldn't all go into the main control room at the same time, and we're all masked up.
Normally when you're making a record, it's fun to sit and chill with each other, and this was pretty just strict business.
Exclusively business from the get-go, just coming in, playing, and then it's you can have a quick listen but basically go on somewhere else with yourself.
But luckily we'd been working these tunes for a minute for most of them, and we were really excited about what we came up with.
Yeah, everything had been kind of carved out and whittled down on the road, and I don't know how many times we've played some of these songs, and it's crazy to see how they kind of transformed and whatnot, and having that time off the road, not playing them every night, is kind of what the pandemic allowed, creatively on these specific songs too.
Steve March-Tormé here. I'm with Christopher Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. This is August Haven Live on 91.1 The Avenue. We're here till 7 p.m. We'll be bringing you more interviews and music from Arts Fishing Club, including a performance set in our 5 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in our next break. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Let's take a listen to something from the latest Arts Fishing Club EP right now.
Driving through the night, these highway signs and caffeine headlights. The ghosts are calling, they're saying to slow down, but they don't know us at all. It's paranoia and fear rolling off their tongues, 'cause they're afraid of what they've never done. But we don't hear them, not a word. We lift our heads and smile. So we say, hey now, monsters, get the hell out of here. You don't belong and we don't want you. We got a heartbeat beating in our chest, a rising eyes that will never, never rest. Now all these suits with all their gold advice, these lawyers, teachers, parents trying to get us laced. They think they know just who we should be, but they know nothing at all. So we say, hey now, monsters, get the hell out of here. You don't belong and we don't want you. We got a heartbeat beating in our chest, a rising eyes that will never, never. Oh no, baby, we know who we are. We know it's crazy, but we will never stop. We got a heartbeat beating in our chest, a rising eyes that will never, never rest. So we say, hey now, monsters, get the hell out of here. You don't belong and we don't want you. We got a heartbeat beating in our chest, a rising eyes that will never, never. Oh no, baby, we know who we are. We know it's crazy, but we will never stop. We got a heartbeat beating in our chest, a rising eyes that will never, never rest.
Welcome back to the Avenue's special monthly broadcast of August Haven Live. I'm SMT. Today I'm joined by Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. So the band's deep grooves fit, I would say, somewhere between folk, rock, some funk, and country. So let's give our listeners a little background on the band. Tell us who's in the lineup. Talk about how you guys came together.
Yeah. So the band, we're Arts Fishing Club, and we're truly like a club more than a band almost.
A social gathering for sure.
Yeah, of many people. And yeah, I mean, I think since we first started, I counted one time, and we've played with like 20 different drummers. I think it was like 17 actually different drummers since we first began, but we've kind of landed on the core group now.
Yeah, like I feel like almost 2 years running or so. It's been like there's definitely still a slight rotation of cast just because everybody's got their other projects and whatnot, and it's just tricky scheduling wise to get 5 people in a room together. It's like herding cats really when it comes to musicians, especially here in Nashville.
Right. Nashville has a very unique scene with that because there are so many musicians and everyone is in so many different projects. It kind of lends it, I think most people, when you think of a band, it's like, okay, 5 best friends that were in a city. Yeah, we're the 5 best friends. Yeah, that were in a city and like grew up together, blah, 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 and they're only ever playing music with each other. And that is certainly amazing for those bands. But the way that we came together was kind of later in life. I think we're all 24, 25. So we've all had our, professional pursuit already kind of on. So we had our own thing going on, and we just started playing. Pete's from Kansas City.
Oh yeah, the Missouri side, the good side. Sorry, Kansas. But I moved down to Nashville like 5 years ago and was convinced to do so by a friend of mine. And coincidentally, he knew Chris. And when I first moved down here, went to a show and Chris happened to be there and he introduced me. and introduced me as a keyboard player. And Chris said, "Oh, I need a keyboard player, August 20th." And then kind of just fell in to playing. Yeah, and fell into love.
And so Pete on keys, Brian Kempson on drums. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. Reese Williams
from the shires of Massachusetts
on bass guitar, and Jimmy Green has been kind of in and out.
Yeah, he's a hot commodity here. He's a ridiculous guitar player out of Alabama, the Auburnish area, you could say.
And please tell listeners the story of your band's name.
Yeah. So the band's name, when I very, very first started playing, I played a show with my cousin Keenan, who's now in he's an actor and he's in one of our music videos. But when we were getting ready to play that open mic, we realized we needed some sort of name to call ourselves. And he jokingly said, let's call ourselves Arts Fishing Club, because we share a mutual grandfather whose name is Arthur. And we'd kind of grown up going fishing, and one year we had made these T-shirts, Arts Fishing Club T-shirts, on a fishing trip that we went with him. So I hated the name right away. I was like, because I'm serious about pursuing music at this point.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Yeah, exactly. And I just didn't think that anyone was going to really take that seriously. But the more that I ended up like kind of sitting with it and thinking about it, the more I kind of fell in love with it, because not only like is it kind of in homage to that grandfather, but my grandfather on the other side is also named Arthur. So it's a nod to him as well. And then beyond both that, it's just a metaphor for how we kind of want to approach art, like in the way that you go out fishing, where it's like you're constantly casting and coming up empty-handed, but you keep doing it, and you know, it's not about the big fish, you know, it's just about being in the boat with people that you love, like San Pedro here.
That's right. Exactly. And yeah, I think the funniest thing is, I mean, and I totally get it, everyone always puts an apostrophe in arts, but it's actually plural arts, you know, two of them Arthurs were out there, oddly enough. But
and then art itself.
Yeah. So the trio, the royal trio of arts, Arthur, and visual art of the world. And well, I guess this isn't too visual, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So and then when the band kind of came together, we just kind of rolled with the name. I think everyone just dug it and was like, yeah, no need to change.
So you're originally from Appleton. You're currently based in Nashville. Sure looks like your bandmates have become very comfortable with all things Wisconsin. And from a peek at your social media, you've turned them on to the Mars Cheese Castle and Spotted Cow beer. Very nice.
Oh, 100%. I think the whole squad is in love with Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we all put down decent amount of dairy for the most part. So it's the cheese state is, you know, very, very, very nice to escape to. But yeah, Mars Cheese Castle has become a staple. I used to have the exit number memorized, but, you know, not having driven up there in a year. But I swear it's, I'm not even going to try and guess, but it might be like 298, 294.
I don't know. I can't even remember. But the Cheese Castle situation's pretty funny. We kind of just started flirting with them on Instagram, like just with whatever the entity of the Cheese Castle. Everyone has had that experience as like a kid, you know, driving down to Chicago or something like that and looking over and being like, Mom and Dad, take me to the Cheese Castle. And they'll be like, no, you know, because so it was just a funny thing that every time we'd come up for tour, we'd just always pass it. And so we started like taking pictures and DMing them and just kind of like tagging them in posts.
Yeah, it took a minute to break through the wall, you know, but once they trusted us, we were in there, foot in the door.
Right. Now they followed us, and we're pushing real hard to have a concert at the castle.
Yeah, and I mean the alliteration and everything there, it just works. Concert at the castle sounds great. Really rolls off the tongue. They do sell Spotted Cow too, and it's like one of the last spots before you get out of the state. So I typically get myself a little 12-pack as we're getting out of there too.
This is 91.1 The Avenue's August Haven live broadcast. I'm Steve March-Tormé. We'll be back with more interviews and live music from Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. We're here till 7 p.m. So Chris has put together a prize package including merchandise and music from Arts Fishing Club. Go to the contest tab at avenueradio.com to enter. August Haven is a supporting partner of the Avenue. Now let's take a listen to something from Arts Fishing Club next. This is Steve March-Tormé. You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue's special broadcast, August Haven Live. We're back with Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club, and in the next break, we're going to get a live set from you guys. So your live performances have made you a favorite of audiences around here. Can you talk about how your live performances influence your approach to your music?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just grew up like really loving live shows. The way that I kind of interpreted music was much more in a live context versus like recordings. I listened to recordings, but I never like fell in love with like that recorded art. I didn't really fully understand that. I only thought like a record was just a way of showing, hey, we do this live, you know? So, but to me, like I pretty much I really gravitated towards listening to live records. There's something about the just in the moment, the spontaneity, and the fact that it's just like, nope, this is it right there.
Yeah, I think Chris and I definitely grew up on different music, and I mean, there's plenty of overlap. But like, you know, he was very into Dave Matthews coming up, and you know, it's like every live show is very different in that genre, and like as a whole, and same thing with a bunch of stuff that I was growing up listening to, like Kansas City, you know, is a big jazz town, so they hold on to that dearly, and you know, grew up learning jazz in school and whatnot, and all of that is just so focused on spontaneity, basically, and never doing the same thing twice. You know, as like a jazz student, I remember my teachers being like, don't waste a good solo, you know, when you're just rehearsing, like stuff like that, because they literally thought like, I won't play this again, even though I know it was good. Like, you know, like something like that. It's like you're just constantly trying to do something that you haven't done. Not necessarily like pushing, you know, the envelope and the boundaries to the max, but like basically just, you know, deviating each time, tastefully deviating.
And just like expressing how you feel that day, you know, that's one of the most fun things about playing live is, you know, if I'm pissed off one day, like I'll sing a song angrier, or if I'm just tired, I'll chill a song out, you know?
Yeah, well, actually, so we do have a live album that wasn't really intended to be that. You know, when we did the show, Chris has got, you know, a Zoom recorder that he brings around, and occasionally the sound systems in these venues, you can plug it in and just take the audio straight from the board, you know, rather than using the two little, you know, tiny mics that are on those things. And yeah, this sound guy at the back corner here in Nashville, Kyle, kills it always. It sounds amazing.
And it felt there, you know, there's definitely some mistakes in it, like if you're getting nitpicky, but at the same time there was a vibe, there was like an energy that night that was just probably because we were excited to see Pete again.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting one. I had just got off the road from, I think it was like 2 months just about, with the Dia Victoria, and got into Nashville, and we played that show like the next night, no rehearsal. It was actually, we had this bass player, Jeff, was playing with us on that show, and I had never met him until I loaded in to the back corner for that gig. And so, yeah, which is kind of crazy because, you know, as rusty as we were, it was still just another iteration, really, of the songs, like I was saying before. And, you know.
Steve March-Tormé here. I am with Christopher Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue. Stick around. There's more August Haven Live coming up, including a performance set in the next break at 5 p.m. And go to the contest tab at avenueradio.com to enter to win a prize package from Arts Fishing Club. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Let's hear something from Arts Fishing Club now.
my mind. Got so much to do, I don't got much time. But there must be someone from up above saying, come on, boy, you got to pick yourself up. You got to. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to wait. 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 Oh, you got to wait. Yeah, you got to wait. Yeah, you got to wait.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Avenue's special monthly broadcast of August Haven Live. I'm Steve March-Tormé. If you're just joining us, you might know that this is the time of the month that we would normally be gathered at August Haven to enjoy some live music and August Haven's famous hospitality. Well, while we can't do that just yet, we're still able to gather around the radio for a visit with some very talented musicians thanks to our friends at August Haven. Joining us today, Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. Take it away, boys.
All right, we good to go? Yeah. Let's do it. San Pedro. We are Arts Fishing Club, playing in studio here at the Avenue. Thank you all so much for having us. This first one's called Hello Heartbreak.
Hello, heartbreak. Oh, here we go again. I wasn't expecting to see you so soon. But here you are, looking so beautiful. Oh, and I don't know quite what to say. Oh, come on, heartbreak, tell me what you've been up to. If you've been thinking about me, 'cause I've been thinking about you, and all the things I said that I should put right. Oh, come on, heartbreak, won't you stay with me? Yeah, and we'll slip right back into it like nothing's ever changed in heartbreak. Oh my God, heartbreak, it feels so good to feel you. Your skin on my skin, and now we're short on breath. Oh, we're short on truth, yeah, and we're short on time. Oh, come on, heartbreak, come on. And we slide right back into it wasted. Come on, come on, come on. Before all our love is faded, hold on, before all our love is wasted. Come on, before all our love is faded. Come on, my heart breaks. The hell are we doing? How come we love to torture ourselves? No, there ain't no going back. Yeah, we got to move on before we go break ourselves
All right, yeah, this next one is, or that first one we played, Hello Heartbreaks, about running into an ex-girlfriend, and that one's already been released. You can check it out on Spotify. This next one is called Tough Shh, and it's it's our always the bridesmaid, never the bride type of song. When you do the music thing, lots of the standard procedures, getting married, doing all those things has to be delayed a little bit because it's and so every now and again you can kind of feel like you're falling behind when all your homies are getting married. And so this song is kind of like laughing at that idea a little bit, because it's like, oh, but dude, you picked it. Like, so it's not really that sad. It's more just kind of laughing at yourself.
Miles beneath my head, another city, another bed. Only one is I lay myself to sleep. I'm writing songs nobody hears. I'm howling back at broken mirrors, locking myself away. Tough shh, all your friends are getting married. You're so alone, oh my God, it's getting scary. Boy, oh, don't you wish you never wanted it all? And I don't wanna die alone, wrapped in flags and rolled in gold. Oh, I wanna feel your heart beating with mine, making love in the morning light, rolling thunder all through the night. Are we gonna live a day before we die? Tough shh, all your friends are getting married. You're so alone, oh my God, it's getting scary. Boy, oh, don't you wish you never wanted it all? But I know she's out there working something greater than herself, pouring all of her soul. And tough, shh, all your friends are getting married. You're so alone, oh my God, it's getting scary. Boy, oh, don't you wish you never wanted it all? I see pain in so many eyes. I hear stories, cover-ups and lies. I am a phony, I am a fake. A soldier for your soul to take. And if you run away. And if you fly, don't you come down. Oh, I've been searching for something, and I searched all wrong, but now I see you. I looked for beauty in all the wrong places. I studied the lines, too many faces. I mistook love for hungry lust, and I ignored every clue that you were enough. So if you run away, and if you fly, don't you come down. Oh, I've been searching for something, and I searched all wrong, but now I see you. Only now, only love will let you go. Some say love, it is a river. Some say love is the razor that makes you bleed. But I say love, it is a decision. Oh, it's knowing when to stay when you could leave. So if you run away, and if you fly, don't you dare come down. And if you love another, I hope you know I was wrong.
Alrighty. We are Arts Fishing Club. It is an honor to be here. That last one's called ICU. This next one is called Devil on My Shoulder, and normally it's kind of like a big rock song, but it's just me and Petey here today, so we're gonna play it nice and down and emotional for you. And this was a song about having a conversation with your soul. I saw a ghost floating in the night. When I looked close, I could recognize my soul. So what are you doing? How did you get out? Shouldn't you be right beside my heart? You said it grew too dark in there. And I know that I have only ever been lucky. And I know that I shouldn't focus on the pain. There's a devil on my shoulder. There's a devil in my ear. Every night I'm growing closer to the devil in the mirror. Well, if this is there, you gave me all you could. Tell me why I never understood how to love. You said the truth's been written right there on your heart, but you've been living yourself in the dark. Yeah, it's easier not to care. And I know that I have only ever been lucky. And I know that I shouldn't focus on the pain. There's a devil on my shoulder. There's a devil in my ear. Every night I'm growing closer to the devil in the mirror. There's a devil on my shoulder. There's a devil in my ear. Every night I'm growing closer to the devil in the All right, y'all. I think we just got one more for you, one or maybe two, depending on the time here. But this next song is called. This next song is off the record that we just released a couple weeks ago. It's called "With Us All," and it's about. It's about being frustrated with kind of the state of the world at times, but also not wanting to point the finger. I really feel like we love just about everyone that we meet, and so it's confusing sometimes when we can be angry at how people act sometimes, but I know I'm guilty just the same as other people, so I don't know what the hell I'm saying, so I'm just gonna play a song.
Come on, you parents, open your heads. It's time you heard your children. 'Cause the times they are changing and they always will. So forget what you know and listen. Come on, you fathers, soften your hearts. No, it's not your fault your fathers never opened up. But you don't have to live like them. Look your boy in the eye and say you love him. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love with the soul. With the soul. All us religions, it's okay, we can settle down. 'Cause there's no love in the shame we put out. And heaven ain't about being right or wrong. It's about tearing the pain away from us all. And everyone afraid to open your eyes, to call out the truth in our ancestors' lies. All us racists and sexists and anti-gays, all of us drowning in all of our hate. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love with the soul. With the soul. One last message for the darkness, I love God. If a man can't love a man, I don't really care to belong. 'Cause my friends are lovers and I love them. So if you send them to hell, you better burn me well. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love with the soul. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love with the soul. The soul. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Looks like we got. Yeah. Man, should we just do like a brand new one?
Like what?
How about Doug's song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So this is a song. I was house sitting my buddies. This is one of the first times we played this one, but I was house sitting one of my buddies' houses. I guess it was just his house that I was sitting and taking care of his dog, and his dog's named Doug. And I was upstairs songwriting, and I didn't really have a title for this one,
but Doug was keeping me company, so this one goes out to Doug. You're a good boy, Doug. Little golden retriever. I've been running from the truth for a while. There's a ringing in my ear I only hear if I get quiet. Maybe it's the reason I'm so sad when you say you're leaving. Maybe it's the reason why I never really could quit drinking. And I can't help but feel like a phony when I'm around my friends. They're all masters in their own right, while I just keep on pretending on and on. Maybe it's the reason why I'm too afraid to record my songs. Maybe it's the reason I let love slip between my arms. I'm sorry to my future sons, 'cause I know that I have failed you, and I know that I have just begun. But I pray that the mess I make is worth it on your end. Not me, but your heart. So take a little while, take a little heart, take your time. If there's a ringing in your ear, pick it up. It's your heart on the line. Nice, Pedro. That's the first time we've ever played that one out for people. Hope you like it. We're Arts Fishing Club. Thank you guys so much for having us. August Haven, WGNR. Love y'all. Steve.
That was Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. I'm Steve March-Tormé, and you are listening to 91.1 The Avenue, your local, independent, listener-supported radio station. Stick around. We have another hour of interviews and music. And make sure to enter to win a prize package including merchandise and music from Arts Fishing Club. Go to the contest tab at avenueradio.com to enter. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. As part of this monthly broadcast, August Haven chooses a nonprofit mission partner to support. This month, August Haven is supporting the Building for Kids Children's Museum in downtown Appleton. Welcome, Oliver Zarno, Executive Director for the Building for Kids Children's Museum. So the Building for Kids in downtown Appleton is coming up on its, 30th anniversary. Can you talk about the history and the evolution of the museum?
Absolutely. You know, the museum has been a staple of downtown Appleton for the last few decades. Back in November of 1992, the Fox Cities Children's Museum opened its doors for the first time with the vision of creating a space for kids and families to learn through play. At the time, the museum occupied only a section of what is now our second floor. And then in 2006, the facility was expanded and completely renovated under the new name, the Building for Kids. Since then, we've continued to update our facility and exhibits, including the introduction of a space dedicated to STEM-based exploration and learning. And we continue to serve our community as a resource for kids and families to form lasting bonds and engage in play-based learning.
Well, my two girls have been to the building for the Kids Children's Museum many, many times. Oliver, tell us about the vision and the mission of the Building for Kids.
Absolutely. The Building for Kids mission is to inspire discovery and build resilience through intergenerational play-based learning and exploration of the arts, sciences, and humanities. We do this by offering specially designed exhibits, programs, and other events, and our vision is to foster empowered children who have the resources and relationships to reach their full potential, engaged parents who are actively involved with and have the knowledge and ability to support each child's development, as well as energized communities that are thriving, welcoming, and connected.
So it goes without saying that the pandemic has had a huge impact on the museum as you've had to close your doors. So would you tell us about what you've been doing since last March?
Yeah, in March of 2020, we had to close our doors to support the health of our community, but we quickly pivoted to virtual and pick up at-home activities. Safety has been a top priority throughout this entire pandemic, and we've built a strong partnership with our local health department. And because of this partnership, we've been able to be one of the only museums in the state to provide in-person ways of fulfilling our mission since last summer through our socially distanced small group programs and our private household exhibit explorations. In addition, we've been proud to continue to work closely with our local schools to support kids. In the past few months, we've equipped thousands of elementary students with hands-on learning activities in classrooms across Northeast Wisconsin.
What has surprised you the most about this past year?
This past year has really been an opportunity for us as a community to appreciate the importance of childhood. The experiences of childhood are essential to reaching our own developmental potential and ensuring emotional, mental, and physical health. The pandemic has disrupted routines, canceled activities, and caused uncertainty. And throughout all of this, children have continued to age through some of the most critical years of their lives. We've realized now more than ever that it's important that we continue to provide families with access to safe, play-based learning experiences that build resiliency through intergenerational relationships and connections to the broader community.
Oliver, as the school year winds down, tell us what's in store for this summer.
There's so much exciting happening this summer. We're optimistic that our community will continue to achieve lower and lower spreads of the virus through mitigation and vaccination. And that will help us continue through our phased reopening process to have even more connection with children and families in our museum. My favorite part of the summer is the annual Children's Week, and we are planning for this year to be no different. We're working on the details of what exactly Children's Week will look like this year, but that we are committed to ensuring that our community continues to celebrate children this July.
And looking ahead, what does the future hold?
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to at the Building for Kids. This fall, we have a number of really exciting things on the docket. A refreshed and reimagined and redone doll hospital exhibit is on the slate for this September. In addition, we're planning on bringing another traveling exhibit. Just before the pandemic, we had a traveling exhibit. And as we come out of the pandemic, we're hoping to have another traveling exhibit on loan from the Minnesota Children's Museum this fall.
Oliver, tell us, how can the community support your efforts?
The Building for Kids is a nonprofit cultural organization in our community, and we depend on the support of our community to continue to serve and innovate in our community and support kids and families. We're so grateful for the support we've received from the community throughout this pandemic, and it's really been the support of those individuals, those businesses, and our exhibit sponsors that have helped ensure that our museum stays vibrant throughout this time. And going forward will be no different. We rely on memberships, admissions, and gifts of all sizes to help us to maintain our exhibits, develop new programming, and provide opportunities for those going through financial hardships to access the Building for Kids. We look forward to seeing the community at our events, at our museum, and continuing to receive the support from our community that we've come to know over the last 3 decades.
This is 91.1 The Avenue's August Haven Live broadcast. I'm Steve March-Tormé. We'll be back with more interviews and music from Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club in the next hour. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. So, Chris, you were raised right here in Appleton, so it's got to be pretty special to come back to your hometown with your band to play a show.
It's incredible. I love Appleton. I think it's an incredibly special place. And actually, after, I almost didn't even realize just how special it was growing up. I loved it, obviously, but I didn't fully realize it until been able to drive around a lot of the country and play in like a bunch of different cities, in smaller cities, bigger cities, and Appleton and the Fox Valley are a very, very unique place. And there's just such a positive energy in this area that is really special. So yeah, I think growing up here was incredible. It's really fun to be able to bring the guys back, and I feel like we have a very, very good time every single time.
You've been part of several Mile of Music festivals. Do you have any standout memories from your performances at Mile?
We do.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a few.
Actually, the very first time that we ever played with Reese, our bassist now.
Was that Bad Badger or
no? It was
Jim's place.
Jim's
that's right.
Place where friends meet.
There were plenty of friends meeting each other there. I can attest to that.
We actually did a little because that show wasn't on the books. That was like an after hours.
Oh yeah,
kind of little sneak show.
Yeah, snuck in the alley. Oh yeah, that was.
We had 5 gigs that day.
That's including you on the bus, right? Like
yeah.
Okay, yeah, man.
But there was 5 gigs that day, and we were running. I mean, there was a couple shows that were like 30 or 40 minutes apart, and so we had to run like with all of our gear to the next one.
Oh, yeah.
And
my parents were in town. And Murph and several other. Oh yeah, people literally carrying all of our gear for us. That's what's always kind of amazing about Mile is just coming up to Chris's hometown, and it's all these dear friends of his that are willing to do whatever to help us. They were selling merch for us.
Yeah. Murph, one of my best friends who I grew up on the street with, he sold, I think he sold like 1,000, same street. Yeah. He sold like $1,000 worth of t-shirts.
He was kind of like, he was a good salesman. He was like forcing them onto people, but I mean, it was still their choice to pay ultimately, and the shirts were great.
Yeah. So we've had some great times at the Mile. We absolutely love it. It's a highlight every year. And it's where Pete gets his dental work done. Romanesco Dentistry, shout out. I get your text, Romanesco. Sorry I don't live in Appleton, but I will be back for a checkup. Come August.
We're talking with Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. I'm Steve March-Tormé. You are listening to August Haven Live on 91.1 The Avenue. Stick around. We'll have more with Chris and Peter coming up in the next break. Go to the contest tab at avenueradio.com to enter to win a prize package from Arts Fishing Club. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Now here's something from Arts Fishing Club.
Honey bear, oh honey bee, you're the sweetest damn honey I ever seen. I said a Tupelo, baby, won't you come home to me? We can dance all night, we can sleep all day. We'll make love like it's Saturday. And Tupelo, honey, won't you come home to me? Oh my Tupelo, oh, 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 honey. Lost my song and my appetite. Oh, come back, baby, you can set me right. Yeah, Tupelo, baby, won't you come home to me? Southern Belle, no Bonnie Lass, cut me up like your smart ass. Oh, Tupelo, baby, won't you come home to me? Oh, my Tupelo, oh, 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 honey. Yeah, Tupelo, baby, you're my Tupelo, oh, 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 honey. I might lose my patience, lose my keys, but I will never lose our love, oh, Tupelo, oh. Chalky white to creaky bones, I give up everything I own. Go Tupelo, baby, won't you come home with me? Southern Belle, no Bonnie Lass, cut me up like your smart ass. Oh, Tupelo, baby, won't honey bear, oh honey bee, you're the sweetest damn honey I ever seen. I said it too low, baby, won't you come home to me?
You are listening to the Avenue's monthly broadcast of August Haven Live, the virtual edition. I'm Steve March-Tormé. I'm joined by Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. So your latest album was released April 30th. We've been hearing a lot of that during this broadcast. You recorded during the pandemic, so is it safe to say the extra time actually got you into the studio?
Yeah, I mean, so luckily I've got a studio space here in my rental house in Nashville, which...
Yeah, Pete's a full-on producer as well, which is dope for the band.
Yeah, so we have, this at our disposal, and, pretty much any music these days, well, I shouldn't say any, but a lot you can, work from a bedroom on. But, it's kind of tough to do that when you want to have that full band aspect. So having this room here, we'd be able to still meet, back when I was having a COVID test done every 2 weeks and whatnot, and, we'd come in here masked up and put Chris in the ISO booth and the rest of us out in this live room and just churned out demos for a while. And, we couldn't really decide if we're like, are these demos or are they the finished thing? Should we put these out? And then we're like, let's see about working with some other people. And so we hit up Ken Coomer and Ryan Hewitt as well. And we're kind of, just picking some people's brains and seeing, what we liked. And we ended up deciding, we loved both of them. We're like, let's see if we can get them both on a record.
And they just have crazy experience. So Ken was he was a founding member of Wilco band. He's the drummer for them. And then Ryan, he was Rick Rubin's mixing engineer for a while.
Just a long track record as a mixing engineer, and
with some big ones. He's on 99. He's on the Black album, 99 Problems with Jay-Z. He's on
Red Hot Chili Peppers, all sorts of stuff.
Avett Brothers. Yeah. So it's like, okay, these guys have worked with some of the, most influential musicians, of the past 20, 50 years, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, and because they're both here in Nashville, it afforded us, to be able to hit them up and see if they'd be comfortable doing a recording. And sure enough, we managed to do it. And I think, it was only maybe 5 days in person at Ken's studio, and that was only 2 days with the band. And, the rest were 1 day of some keyboard overdubs that I was in there for, and then pretty much just Chris doing guitar and vocals. We still had that kind of fire under us in the sense of you need to keep doing something, and when you're not touring, it's like you need to be putting out music regardless if you're on the road. That's kind of how we all feel, and so we had to basically get something to put out, and we just felt like, we had to figure out a way to do it. And luckily Ken, allowed us to use his space. And we came up with the EP, whittled all those demos down to 5 songs we wanted to do. And I can't remember if we maybe sent more to Ken and he kind of helped pick those.
We sent some more, and Ken picked those as kind of his favorites that he was into, which is exciting because we've got a lot of other demos. I was actually just putting those together, Pete, in a SoundCloud, and I'm starting to send them out to some more producers. We got a lot coming.
So tell us, what was the recording process like for you?
The recording process was very quick. It almost makes it a little trickier to go in, with a objective ear when it's this is how the song goes, we've played it this way 10,000 times, but that's the thing about working with some other producers and not just doing it on our own, is that you get some other input. And Ken chose those songs because he liked them. So, nothing changed drastically. It was only very little things here and there, but they really did hone things in.
And then the mixing stage with Ryan was really just a blast. I don't know.
Yeah.
We had so much fun, and it just took the tunes from very good raw files, but man, we just really started to breathe some life into the songs in the mixing process.
Well, COVID sure has changed all segments of the industry, not just for artists, but for venues, for technicians, sound people. How are things shaping up for you and your schedule?
Well, luckily the world seems to be coming back to life. These vaccines, you gotta love it. And we're starting to play shows again. But I will say something that COVID really taught us and taught me was, okay, dude, don't just go out on the road for the sake of going out on the road. We're kind of beyond. In the beginning, when we first started, it was just like anyone that wants us to play, like, please.
If we get one fan at this show, it's worth it. And it's like, yes and no.
The 9-hour drives, the 10-hour drives, then setting everything up, like, it's brutal on the body after a while. So right now, it's something that I'm very excited about is just, okay, how do we focus on recording music, putting more music out, growing the group and the fan base. The internet travels a heck of a lot faster than 5 dudes in a car. But yeah, so we're starting to play some shows, but we're definitely being a little bit more, focused and not determined. What's the word I'm looking for? Choosy. What's the word I'm looking for, Pete?
Precise.
No, that's not the one.
Effervescent.
No, like the directive. What was that word that you said the other day in the session that we were big fans of?
Oh, man, it was one of those like ambiguous words. Oh my gosh, what was it?
It's a real good word. We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
That's Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue's August Haven live broadcast. I'm SMT. Stick around. We got one more break coming up. And make sure to enter to win a prize package including merchandise and music from Arts Fishing Club. Go to the contest tab at avenueradio.com to enter. August Haven is a supporting partner at The Avenue. Let's hear another song from Arts Fishing Club right now.
Empty page, it taunts me like a clear blue cigarette. Take a deep breath in and hold. I can feel it scratching, scraping at my lungs. Oh, I gotta let it go. And it's all laid out, yeah. Choice is up to me.
You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue. I'm Steve March-Tormé. This has been our special broadcast, August Haven Live. We are back one last time with Chris Kessenich and Peter Edens of Arts Fishing Club. So, as a working band who has spent a lot of time on the road, you guys must have some good stories. Any dirt from the road that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's always one of those hard questions when you're asked it, because I don't sit here. I try not to dwell on things.
We've hit a deer once.
Oh, man. And we've almost hit a deer.
Multiple times. Pulled into a motel at 2 a.m., and the whole city was booked up, so drove and didn't find another motel till 4 a.m., and then there was cockroaches in the bed.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, man. But those are kind of horror stories. One that maybe was a horror story at the time, but still pretty hilarious. We were in, I think it was Huntsville. It was Alabama for sure. I can't remember if it was actually Huntsville though. We were at this bar, and it's one of those gigs where we're playing to like one person, at least one person who's watching, and then there's the employees of the venue. So there's a few others, and there's a couple regulars at the bar who have no intent of paying attention to us. That's not what they're there for. And as a matter of fact, we're almost a nuisance that we're there for the regulars. This is years back, and this lady Julie had perhaps been overserved. I don't know.
She was certainly overserved.
Yeah, she, Chris will like have a little set break when we're up there on stage sometimes, and he'll play a couple songs solo. And so the band, we walked off stage and sat down for a minute to the side, and this woman, Julie, who had been loving it, loving the show, but now that the volume was down a bit, she thought, oh, maybe I can have a conversation with Chris, although he was the one still on stage trying to sing, and it was mid-song.
Yeah, it was a very emotional song. It was Bottle of Wine.
Yeah, super emotional song, and very, just like quiet, and it builds obviously, but man, she was trying to tell him a story about her windbreaker, and that ended up turning into explaining what a windbreaker was. Like, it sounded like
she was pretending to be a windbreaker. It was
pretty amazing. But anyways, that's the one that we think fondly of. But it's like when we get asked that question, so many of these like just like come to mind first that are like, yeah, oh, hit a deer, or there was a roach in some hotel.
Almost got carjacked once.
Oh my gosh, yeah, very recently. Snowy, Indiana.
Shout out to old Julie.
All right, and it's not a story from the road, but rather one from Nashville. I'm told there's a story that involves my two daughters' favorite artist by far, some gal named Taylor Swift.
So I had briefly had a acquaintanceship with Taylor Swift's younger brother. He had
acquaintanceship.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean that's probably the best word.
Is
to
it a
describe
word?
It.
Is what I was saying. That's a nice word.
Coined it, baby.
Oh yeah,
the
word from earlier. Equivocal.
Oh yeah.
Equivocal. Unequivocal is like without a doubt. Equivocal is like, yeah, I don't know, and we like that.
Anyway, so this was my old college roommate here in Nashville. He went to high school with Taylor's younger brother, Austin, and Austin was in town on break from his school, and he invited us over just to have some beers. And so there was just like, I don't know, a couple of us, 4 or 5 of us drinking some beers at this house. And we had invited some girls over, woo. And the doorbell rang, and thought that, my other friend went to answer the door, and we thought it was the girls, and I'm sitting there kind of drinking, and all of a sudden this voice comes in and kind of says like seductively, like, oh, so I see you have, or what was it? It was, oh, so do you have both the dimples or just one? And in my head, like college age me, I'm like, oh, wow, these girls sound like fun. And I turned around and I go, I don't know, you tell me. And I flash a smile, like kind of trying to be smooth. And it ended up being Taylor Swift. And I just, I in my head, I just go, whoa! And kind of freaked out.
And you left, right? You locked up.
I stumbled on my words.
Brake system kicked in.
Yeah, and then walked into the other room,
Found a fire escape, and
She then proceeded to write a bunch of albums about like heartbreak and, you know.
And it must have been influenced by you.
That's the only real
Yeah, you were wearing a
explanation.
cardigan too.
Check, yes, Juliet. No.
Chris and Peter, thanks for joining us. We always enjoy our time with you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you guys. You guys have been so incredibly supportive of us, and we appreciate it so much.
Yeah, see you at Mile.
We will. We shall.
We want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsor, August Haven. August Haven has created this unique event, which will continue in person once it's safe to do so again. Thanks to everyone at August Haven for their support of the Avenue, the musicians that we feature in these broadcasts, and this month's mission partner, the Building for Kids Children's Museum in downtown Appleton. Remember, listeners can enter to win a prize package including merchandise and music from Arts Fishing Club. Go to the contest tab at avenueradio.com to enter. August Haven is a supporting partner of the Avenue. Now, one more time, here's Arts Fishing Club.
This is a song about Walter White. It's called Greatness.
It's cold in the winter, coldest in the middle of night. I lay awake staring, the cracks remind me of my broken life. I made $1 million in a moment. Oh, what's a moment worth? I'd give $1 billion for another moment of yours. But I was born for greatness. I was born for greatness, I swear. And so I slip into dreaming.